Good evening. We're back. Oh my God. 24 hours till this fucking election. But I'm watching the news. They're saying it's going to take even longer. Like, they're already setting up to say, like, it's not going to be done tomorrow night. I'm Canadian, so I don't know why I care about this so much. Maybe because we share a fucking border. But the news is telling me already that we're not going to know probably for days after who actually won. But I remember in 2016, like, we kind of knew the night of. So I don't know why that's the fucking case. Maybe someone can fucking tell me. But I think I'm going to do like some sort of live stream tomorrow. The wifey's out of town. She's taking order block with her. Going on a little girls trip. So your boy's going to be home alone. Back on that fucking bachelor life. And I say that jokingly because she's already made me a bunch of food while she's away and left a bunch of fucking sticky notes on how to make coffee because I'm retarded. Anyways, so I might do like some sort of mega stream. I don't know. Just during the election, we'll have some charts up. Maybe I'll take some DGen trades or something like that. I don't know. But so yesterday's video, right? We talked about, okay, we came down into demand. Right, and this is where I wanted to see the higher low form, somewhere in here. This is where we were in yesterday's video. I said, ideally, this is the low, right? We got the sweep. I said the downsides of yesterday's, right? We negated the SFP. We didn't get it. It closed just below the daily SFP, so that was gay, right? But we still got a sweep on like the 6-hour MSB, so it looked kind of constructive. I was like, okay, maybe this is it. And I said, I think this might be the low, but I'm definitely confident that the low forms within here. And if you remember from my original video like 3 days ago, I longed some here, and I said I'd long more here. So that's exactly what happened today. And I talked about this in yesterday's video. I was like, we might get, right, one more stab down and then go. So you can go watch yesterday's video. I talked about this exact scenario. So we dug in a little deeper. I longed a little bit more, right? So keep in mind, you know, if you took a short-term trade here, on the sweep and the MSB, yeah, you probably got stopped. Like maybe you TP'd, maybe there's 1R here. I don't know. Not quite, right? Not quite. So maybe you got stopped on that. That's okay. But on this type of trade, well, two things. Don't let me get ahead of myself here. On this type of trade, right, if I'm confident that the low forms in here, sometimes you got to take 1 or 2 stabs at it, right? You want to take a couple of stabs. You think this might be it? No. Okay, but what if it's this one, right? Where now we've got the H12 sweep. We've now had an H1 MSB. What if this ends up being the low? Well, if this ends up being the low and you take the trade again, the exact same trade you took yesterday, and this one works out, it's going to be 4 or 5R easily. So that's going to make up for the 1R hit you took. That's why you have asymmetric risk reward. You can take multiple stabs at this thing, right? Because now we've dug in deeper. So the entry on this with stop would be here, right? If we get even just to here already, that's over 3.5R. And if we go all the way to all-time high, that's almost 6R, right? So that covers your 1R scratch. And that means you could even take 3 stabs at this fucking thing. Now, obviously, once you take your, you know, if you're wrong twice, okay, maybe you reduce risk on the next one. Maybe wait for a little more confirmation. Or you could take 3 goes at it because I still think the low forms in here. Me, the way I'm chilling, right, is as you guys know, I longed here. I longed a little more yesterday. And then I longed the remainder today here. I posted about it in Haven and shit. But my stop is down here. I'm playing the H12. So when I say, hey, let's say I want to risk 10K total, right? That's my total risk I want to have out. I did 25% here. I did another 25% yesterday. So after yesterday, I had negative 5K up for risk, let's say, if we came all the way down here. But still not my full positions on. We came into the midpoint, did the other 50%. So now my average is somewhere in here, right? And now if we go all the way down here, I lose 10K. So I'm scaling into that position, but the size of my position and the risk position size that I'm entering at each of these levels is based on this stop down here. So I'm trading it a little differently than someone who's going on the low time frame perhaps and taking an H1 trigger. Because of the election tomorrow, and I expect choppiness and shit like that, I'm not sure the low time frame is going to play clean. Like we could very well do this again, right? And maybe you don't want to pull trigger on another third one, and then you end up missing the one that works. Whereas I'm in the swing trade, I'm willing to ride it out. I already know what I'm willing to lose, and I think because my stop is so far, if I get stopped out, I think my trade idea is wrong, and we're probably not going to go for all-time high. Whereas if you get stopped out here, we still could be well within this order block and then actually make the move. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyways. So we're, again, similar to yesterday, we're seeing constructive stuff here. It didn't work yesterday. It's not always going to. We're still within the area where I think we can go up. The H12 is putting in a potential higher low. So the H1 is in a downtrend, and all I'm doing is waiting for it to try and go into an uptrend. Maybe a little shift here. Maybe this is the shift. No, made another lower low. Okay, maybe this is the shift. Maybe we're starting to uptrend again here. Get back in sync with that H12. So that's all I'm trying to time. So it's starting to look okay again, but we have the election tomorrow. It looked okay yesterday. Didn't end up working out. But I like it a little better today because now we have the H12 sweep within the order block. So that makes me a little bit more confident. Just looking at how this hourly chart looks, I kind of feel like this is, slowing here. I imagine there's probably an RSI divergence here on the hourly, right? I don't know. RSI, guys, is this a divergence? So that to me is all leaning positive here. So I'm still in the long. This is the plan. This looks good on low time frame. I think just like yesterday, if you're trying to get in this low time frame, set your bids at the order block here at the breaker. I think this is a valid trade. So we'll see. Maybe I'll take a scalp on that. But again, election tomorrow, whatever. Size appropriately. Beware that there's a good chance we get some whipsaw. I'm going to be on a bunch tomorrow. But yeah, just want to get this quick update. Keep you going through the thought process. All these videos will be super informative if I'm right. And if I'm wrong, it's going to be a whole bunch of educating. And then I fucking don't get the trade right. And then it all seems kind of dumb, doesn't it? But whatever. Hopefully it's helpful. Because that's what trading is, baby. It's fucking just throwing darts. All right. Talk to you later.